Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, the show for the geek in all of us. I'm Ryan Street, and guess what? I'm here again with our good pal Chris Catron and my brother Chris Street. How you guys doing?
Whoop, whoop. Oh, yeah.
Here we are. This is episode 8. 8 is great.
It is. And we can just get past that hump and get to 10.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We can get to 10, then it's all uphill from there.
Is that good or bad?
Yeah, I'm not. Wait a minute.
Wait a
minute.
That's when all the sponsors will just start rolling in. They'll be like, "Oh, 10 episodes.
These guys are for real.
These guys are legit."
So we're doing more of these? I'm confused.
Well, we had something to tell you, Chris. You know, we've looked at the numbers, and after episode 10, we're sorry, but you have to stay with us and keep doing it.
Oh,
I had a feeling this was coming. Dang it. Oh well.
So we're going to actually. It's summertime. It's summertime, right? Kids are getting out of school.
Mm-hmm. About summer. Yeah.
I'm doing what I usually do. You guys are doing what you usually do, but it's getting hotter. Mm-hmm. And we thought we would do something special. We're going to try something special. I know we're only 8 episodes in, so why change it up? But you know, that's just how we are.
Something works. Just make it work. I don't know.
Yeah, just make it work. We thought we'd do something called the Summer of Geek, and because being a geek is not just a lover of movies or comics or Star Wars or that weird other Star Trek thing or whatever it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, Trek. Yeah. But you know, you can geek out. You can be a geek about anything. So we're gonna do a series. Every once in a while, we'll pop one in. We'll still do our regular show, but we'll pop some in, and it could be a I Am Dad, where it's just some dads that get together and we just talk about what it's like being a dad. It could be a I Am Tech, where we talk about tech stuff.
Technology.
Where we just say numbers and zeros and everything. Ones and zeros, ones and
zeros.
Sponges. Yes, I am sponges. I am garbage man. I don't know.
I could talk for 2 hours about sponges.
Who couldn't? Jeez. That's like a day conversation for me.
You've got like red ones and
more porous.
Oh, well, there we go. I am
the one that comes with like a scrubby on one side of it. Like
exfoliating
scrubby. And then it's yellow.
But we're going to get some special guests in, hopefully, from different walks of life, different things, and do some cool, different takes on some everyday things and some takes on other areas of our lives that we want to talk about. So hopefully you guys will like that and tell us what is the I Am Geek thing that you guys geek out about. You know, what is it? What do you want to hear about? You can let us know through our email, which is iamgeekshow@gmail.com. You can tweet us at iamgeekshow.
Send us a picture on Instagram.
On Instagram at iamgeekshow. MySpace? No, we don't have a MySpace. Yeah,
we have a Facebook.
We have a Facebook.
The Facebook. Yeah.
I Am Geek Show. Yeah. The Book of Face. So get us on social media somewhere. Tell us what you want to hear about. Hopefully you will. If not, then we'll cry and sob. And I think my dog is. Can you hear my dog? He's like snoring in the background. We're gonna do an I Am Dog, and we're just gonna talk about my dog and how he snores so loud. Anyways. So if you hear something in the background, it's just a little Obi. Little Obi with the crooked nose. Anyways, so I know you've all been, you know, this is the time of year where season finales happen. So we might as well, I know it's on everybody's mind. We might as well just go ahead and get it out there. Sorry, I think Chris is first.
It is. I was about to text you.
Yeah.
It's the funniest looking.
So we do this. Yeah. We do this over Skype.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. It's all cutting out on me. I'm getting little bits. There's a dog with a crooked nose, and some noises.
I mean, he could have been a model of that picture. It was like
Yeah, you guys. Of course, you guys are a podcast. So you're hearing us, but you can't see it. But we're on Skype doing this because we're in 3 different locations, and it froze on this picture of Chris. And I think it's a picture that we would see like a model wearing like a male romper. That's the big thing right now.
Male romper. Oh no!
This was Chris and his male romper, frozen on our screen. Which I saw one of those at Target today. I saw a male romper. It was the American flag.
I've been hearing about this.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like I have to get one.
No. I think this is a ploy to end manhood forever. Is the male romper?
It definitely isn't manly. I don't think.
No.
I mean, we may have just lost like 10 people, but it's. I don't. I can't. No, I can't.
I don't think we want those 10 people.
That's right.
I think we're good.
Yeah, so
they don't even look like they're ironed, or like the pictures I've seen. It's like it just looks so junky looking. I'm just like, what is going on here?
They were talking about it on the radio this morning, and a country singer said that if he ever saw someone dressed in that at his show, he would pour a beer over the guy's head.
Well,
Dirk Bentley, I think, said that.
Yeah, when I was walking through Target, I saw it, and it was like the American flag, but it was a male romper. And I'm just like, is that in the wrong section? And I'm like, oh, gosh, no. And then when I got home, I was checking my Facebook, and somebody had tried it on and was wearing it in Target on my Facebook. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. What is the world coming to when men are wearing rompers? I don't know. Anyways, before Chris showed up in his male model look,
what can I say?
It's the season finale of a bunch of shows, so we know it's all on our mind. Let's go ahead and talk about it. The season finale tonight was the season finale of Master Chef Junior, everyone's favorite show.
The words didn't even want to leave your mouth.
I know. So I never seen this before, but I was I have a 2-year-old, and I was trying to get him ready for bed, and it was sort of on in the background, and I was like, what is this? And it was like these 11-year-olds in front of Gordon Ramsay and Wolfgang Puck and Martha Stewart and another lady that I didn't know who she was. But I've heard of it before, but I've never really watched it. But so I just sort of got drawn in, and it's amazing because these are 11. There was 2 11-year-old girls from Georgia. Their names were Justice and Jasmine. So J&J. They were in the finals together. And I'm like,
pretty sure those names are exclusive to Georgia. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. You can send the hate emails to Christopher Street at.
I'm from Tennessee. It's fine.
We don't wear shoes in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So Justice, Jasmine, and so I'm thinking, they're gonna cook like pizza or hamburger or something. No, they're popping out like lobster and pork belly, and I'm like. When I was 11 years old, I didn't know I could barely cook a Pop-Tart, and this is crazy that they're doing. They did a 3-course meal. They did an appetizer, a main course, and dessert, and it was pretty crazy. So now I'm going to have to teach my 2-year-old how to cook so he could be on TV.
I think it's all these cooking shows that are out there now. They're all because I've got nieces and nephews that love watching those shows. And they're probably inspired to do it, and we didn't have those shows back then. It was cartoons or video games or whatever, but it's a different world.
Yes. Now I do remember in I think it was sixth grade, I for some reason at our church, some lady that was like a chef or something in the church decided to do I think it was 6th grade. I don't know. It could have been a little later. Decided to do a cooking class for the guys in my age group. So she brought us all to her house, which is sort of strange anyways because we didn't really know her. And
seems like it's going to end well.
And
Yeah, lots of cats.
and she had this like big industrial kitchen, and she taught us how to make crepes. So I learned how to make crepes in like sixth grade or something, which they were really good. But then I never made them again. But I still remember making them, and I'll get them at Epcot or somewhere now. And I'm like, oh, this reminds me of that random cooking class, and it was only like a one-time thing. So she taught us how to make crepes, and that was it. So, but it was fun.
I just remember you going on a youth trip. I wasn't on this one, but you went on a youth trip, and you guys had gotten pizza like the night before or something, and there was leftover cold pizza. And you're like, I want to eat pizza in the morning, but you didn't want to eat cold pizza. So you took out the travel iron and heated a piece of pizza up on the travel iron and ruined the travel iron.
No, see, that was my secret. I would bring that travel iron on every trip we went on, like camp out or something, or youth camp or something, and I would always heat my pizza up on it. It was good. Because if you think about it, an iron is shaped like a piece of pizza. So you just flip it over, you put the slice on top of it, and then just heat it up, and then you've got pizza. Mm-hmm. You got hot pizza.
Until the cheese starts running into it.
It's okay. It's a travel iron. You only use it on trips.
Not being happy
he's fine with it now. He realized the genius of it.
And then we had Mrs. Relou's cooking class.
Yes, we would do. We're just going crazy now. Yeah, we did our own little show at our house, Mrs. LaRue's cooking class. I don't remember who was.
You were Mrs. Relou.
Oh, of course.
I was a guest.
Yeah.
And your specialty was Kool-Aid.
Oh, yes.
Because that's all we could do.
Yes. Oh, the Kool-Aid. Wow, I wish we had video of that. That would be excellent. But it's funny, I did go on, and when I was 16, I got a job at a gourmet restaurant. Started as a dishwasher and worked there until, basically graduated college and became a cook at this gourmet restaurant. So, I guess you start with humble beginnings, making Kool-Aid, dressed as a woman in your parents' kitchen. And you make gourmet meals at later on in life. So now, I can cook, but I never do cook really. But I should probably, because I know how to. I know how to cook more than Kool-Aid and crepes. But for some reason, I can't make breakfast, like eggs and stuff like that. I always mess it up. I can make these fancy gourmet meals, but when it comes to making eggs, I always mess the eggs up. I don't know why.
That's about the one thing I can do is eggs. So I don't know.
There we go. We should get
I guess
together.
You took everything else, and then I took the eggs.
I left you with the eggs. But I do. So for our listeners out there that are not married yet, here's a word of advice. We're just going off on all kinds of. This could be I am cooking or something. When we first got married, my wife and I have been married for just about 16 years. Come December.
Ooh.
Oh. I know, I'm old.
She's just about getting to like you now.
Yeah. Okay. But when we first got married, she made breakfast, made scrambled eggs and stuff. And this is a lesson right here for everybody listening to not do this. I said, hey, this is good, but here's my mom's phone number if you want to call her and get her and ask her how she makes her scrambled eggs.
Wow. How are you still married?
I don't know. I'm so dumb. And she was like, are you serious? And I'm like, I don't know. She just does something to them, and they're really good.
You should do them this way. You had good intentions. You just didn't think it through.
I'm sure if he did.
I did. I was like, hey, she's got a good recipe or whatever you do for scrambled eggs. You should get it. And she was like, what? Because, they're just better. I don't know why. She puts magic in them or something. But, I learned my lesson because then she bought this thing online. So I'm going to get in so much trouble.
If you listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
You're fine.
She had this genius idea to buy this product, like as seen on TV thing. And I don't know if you guys remember it. It was called the turbo cooker. I don't know if you guys remember this
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
It was like, it can cook your meals fast. I'm like, well, we have a microwave, so why would we need this thing? You can cook your meat and your vegetables and a cake all at the same time. And I'm like, why would you want to do that? But she got it, and she's like, I'm going to make pizza with this turbo cooker. And I'm like, okay. And so she made it, and she put it out on the table, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to repeat the egg thing. I know that. I'm like, so I'm just going to eat this. So I took a bite, and I was like, oh, this is so good. And so she sat down, and she's like, oh, good. So she took a bite, and she spit it out of her mouth. And she's like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. And I'm like, oh, good, because it was so bad. It tasted like you took a biscuit and then like rubbed ketchup all over it and put some cheese on it and ate it. It was so bad. But the turbo cooker, like, it sat in the closet after that. It was just like, don't buy stuff that's made on TV or as seen on TV. It's just not good. Just use your microwave or stove.
So you learned your second lesson. Wait till she bites into it first.
Yes, but she did right after, I did my things and she did her things. Right after we got married, I'm like 6 foot tall, and she's like tiny. I don't know how tall she is. She's tiny.
3
foot. No,
3
feet. She's bigger than that. But we were in this is PG. So, but we were in bed, and sound asleep, and we were sound asleep, and all of a sudden I was like dreaming that I was flying through the air, and then I just hit the floor, and I woke up. And she had, in her dreamed that I was tickling her, and she took her foot and kicked me in the small of the back as hard as she could, and I went flying off the bed onto the floor. So, we both had our things, but we're still married and we still love each other.
Aww.
So,
I think that was getting you back for the egg comment.
Probably.
She did that on purpose.
Oh, but I'm getting us way off track. But this is fun telling us. I could tell stories all night about the craziness of married life.
And then you won't be married anymore.
Oh no. Maybe I'll tell more some other time. But maybe we'll do an I am married, and that will just.
Oh, there we go. I am married.
Then we'll lose more people. What if these guys are married? Dang it.
Yeah, you gotta pretend like you're available.
Oh well, that's your job.
So how many have we lost now tonight? Like 20. We got the Georgia comments.
We got the Mel rompers. We're just we're having fun. I like this. I like this format.
I am offensive.
Yeah, we just talk. We just talk about.
You know what I hate? People that don't use signals.
Grinds my gears.
I am grumpy old man. That's what this is going to be called.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. We should call it that. That's the name of the episode.
It's these days with the gadgets and the things.
Oh, but it brings us all back around to Master Chef Junior, and it was a fun show. That little girl, Jasmine, won with her lobster and stuff. Oh. She won $100,000.
Holy!
Man.
Which she won't see for a while. I guess it'll go into some
and a trophy. She won a trophy too.
Oh, and a trophy. Oh,
that's good. She'll get the trophy.
Yeah.
So parents out there, if you won $100,000, teach your kid how to cook and put them on a TV show.
There you
go. How to make $100,000.
Yeah. So anyway, that was fun. Mm-hmm. That was fun. So a lot of some stuff has come out this week. We had was it today or yesterday? The Destiny 2 gameplay trailer dropped, which is pretty cool. Katrin and I enjoy the Destiny sometimes to play. Now he has an Xbox, which I don't want to offend anybody that likes Xbox.
No, that's what we're doing tonight.
Oh yes. This is He has an Xbox.
Yeah.
And I have a PS4, so we don't get to play each other. I started to say play with each other. That just sounds weird. Play each other on Destiny.
Compete.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, the way it started out is I started a new job back in 2013, so almost 4 years ago, in July, and they were like, "You got to get an Xbox 360," because at the time it was 360, and we've got this game called Destiny that we're playing. So I'd been holding out because I'm always late into the game. I had a Wii when it was I did get a Wii pretty early, but anyways, I was always late to the game. But I bought it and got one for like $100, and we played the game, and then everybody stopped playing it for some reason, and then they were like, "Oh, we got to get an Xbox One. We're all gonna play Halo. We're gonna do, so we did, and we played like twice, and so it's been kind of rough, but and I just. Yeah, but we still play every once in a while, so it's good. But I do have a coworker that's almost daily. It's before I bought the Xbox One is about when it started, and he said, "Oh, I've got this deal. I found this deal. If you can trade in your 360 and get $100, and then you can get this for 200 and get this or whatever, And it was just like, I can't do this. But it was daily, and it still is. It's coming back because there's a game that he and another coworker are playing called Ghost Recon. It's the latest Ghost Recon game, and they're trying to get me to play and all this, and I'm like, well, I'm already bought into this one, but he's about to buy the PlayStation Pro, and he's wanting to sell me his Destiny edition PS4, and he said he's going to give me a real good deal on it. So I was like, well, we'll see. So
$1,000.
$1,000. He said on the cheap. So I'm
the cheap.
Or either I have to give him birds for it, or it's going to be like $100 or something.
Probably birds.
Cheap.
Probably birds.
Cheap.
Maybe we should start the hashtag get Catron a PS4, and then all of our listeners, just so many of them.
Oh man!
Just pull their money together.
We'll have to start a Kickstarter and have like all these benefits. Like if you can be on the show with us if you give $5 or
you can get a T-shirt.
A T-shirt.
whenever the non-existent T-shirt.
We do have a logo, so at least
we have the logo. Hopefully, we'll get a T-shirt soon because
we get to sell vinyl copies of our show.
Hey, I'll do it. I'll do a Kickstarter. Just if you want to be on the show, just let me know and we'll get you on the show. It's that easy.
You don't even need a Kickstarter. Right?
Yeah, just ask us.
Yeah, you just ask us and like share it. Share it with your friends and get people to listen. And we'll have you on. We'll talk about.
Ooh, we can tweet it out. The next person that shares I don't know how you figure that out, but.
Well, basically, if anyone shares
it, yeah, there you go. You get on.
If we actually see you that you shared it, because it'll just be you. Then you will be on the show.
We do have listeners all over the world. We have listeners in Germany and Colombia and
American Samoa. What's that?
American Samoa. We had somebody from Washington State listening to us, and Ohio, and New York, and Mississippi,
all around the world,
Texas, and all over. Our parents say they're going to listen, but they can't figure it out. They can't figure out the whole podcast.
Well, they have trouble with things.
They have trouble with things. I was on the phone. She probably, I don't know, our mother may listen to this or not. I was on the phone with her earlier, and her alarm, she had set an alarm on her iPhone, and it was going off in the background while we were talking, because I was on the phone with her. She was using her iPhone, and it was going off, and I could hear it. I'm like, just turn your alarm off. She's like, I have no idea how to turn it off. I'm like, just. She's like, all I see is your name and the phone call. I'm like, just hit the home button, and she goes, well, if I hit that big red button, it'll just turn you off. And I'm like, no. The home button. She's gonna hate me. She's gonna hate me.
She's so gonna hate you.
So we have to teach them how to use.
No, we don't.
Electronics. Oh no, we do.
No, yeah.
But we still love her.
Yeah.
I've showed them where the purple podcast button is, but they still haven't figured that out. Anyways, so technology, it's fun. Changes all the time. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know if I'll buy it when it first comes out, but I'm excited what I see in the new trailer for the Destiny 2.
Yeah.
It looks really
Yeah,
good.
I watched it. It looks cool. Like, I don't really get to play video games a lot. Like, I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox. I have a PS3. I actually bought it, I think, like the year the PS4 came out because it was cheaper. And so I'll just get the PS3. And so, yeah, I got some games on that I get to play every once in a blue moon because, I just don't have time. But they're fun. And that game looks fun.
You could probably get the original Destiny for
You can, but here's the problem.
Cheap.
You can get it for $10, yeah. But the problem is, if you buy that game, you really can't play it anymore because
that's true.
They kind of required you to buy the DLCs, and that was the problem.
Weird.
It turned everybody off, and nobody knows really what's going to happen with the next with Destiny 2 as far as they already have 2 DLCs that you can buy. You can buy it for $100. You get early access to beta, but you get these 2 DLCs in the game. But they said when the Rise, or I was going to say the Rise of Iron, which was the last thing they did, but I think it was Taken King actually. When they did it, they said we're no longer going to do DLCs where it changes everything. It's going to be more about the content, new things, in the game instead of changing the game totally because. It was really crazy, and you had to spend this money, or you couldn't play with your friends or anything. Whereas a lot of games, you just don't get to go to the extra levels, or the new maps, but some of the maps. But yeah, so it's kind of weird. I kind of was waiting on the new game to see what it was going to be like, the reveal to see, and it looked really good. The new classes look good, where the same classes but new powers. One of them looks like Captain America. He's throwing a shield, and hitting people. And another one has a staff, and he's beating. So I was like, who's that does that? I don't know. Somebody else does that. And then a sword, and you come down. I'm doing this on the screen.
For those not being able to see, he was acting like he was holding a sword.
I had a sword, yeah.
Coming at the screen. He had a sword.
I did have a sword, yeah. No.
Yes.
But yeah, it looks awesome, and they took away the going into orbit piece. I don't know if you saw that, Ryan.
Okay.
So it was kind of silly because you're on, let's say, Earth, and you say, "Oh, I want to go to a different planet," which that was one of the coolest things about Destiny. It's like I can go to the moon, I can go to Mars, all this, and so you had to hold this button down, and it takes forever, and then you go to orbit, and then all of a sudden your ship is just up in space, right? You're sitting there. So then you go to this map, and then you select where you're going to go. And it was just pointless. So they introduced this new map that you can just pull up in the middle of playing like you can on any other game these days and select where you want to go. It still shows you going into space and flying, but it takes out that whole in-between step of going to space, So that's going to be pretty cool. And then they took away matchmaking, it seems, but they call it now guided games, where if you want to do something with other people, if somebody else is playing and they need another person, they can click something, I don't know, and then you can look for those and try to see if you want to join up with them, and then if you like the people, then you can start a clan and all this. But so yeah, they're trying to get to, because the game kind of requires you play with other people just to get through some of the things, like what they call raids. You can't do a raid without having 6 people in a group, in a fire team. But normal gameplay, you can have up to 3 people usually in a fire team, and it's just a lot more fun to play with people than by yourself on that game.
Yeah,
it's just not really good. Not really good rating unless you have 6 people.
That's right.
You can rate with 5,
right.
but I mean, it's just, you get so much more rating done.
That's right. Yeah, but it's a cool story. The transition from Destiny 1 to this is they had this big attack from this new enemy, and they took away all your weapons and your abilities. So you're just starting over, but you can take your character, but they don't have any weapons or anything. And then you're fighting this new enemy and getting all of your stuff back. So it's like you're starting over again, which is still pretty cool. They're going to focus more on having a story instead of just these silly cutscenes that nobody cares about.
I just like Nathan Fillion does the voice.
Yes.
Well, did you know it used to be Peter Dinklage before though, right?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and supposedly he recorded it in a bathroom, and everybody gave him a hard time. They thought it was the worst thing. I thought it was fine. I thought it fit well, and I don't know. I guess it doesn't bother me, but they got rid of his voice and did this other guy, and everybody's just like, "Oh, he's so much better. He does all these other voices," and I'm like, whatever. But Dinklebot is what they call the old one, because it was there's this thing called a ghost that flies around and it talks to you and all this stuff in the game, and that was Peter Dinklage in the first in Destiny 1, and then somewhere along the way they did an update where they changed the voices. I don't know, before Taken King, but
so Nathan Fillion's playing like one of the main characters, I guess, for Destiny 2, I guess.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking of somebody else.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. But they changed
out like a helmet.
He's got the sort of the robotic face. He's the guy in the bar.
Okay, so he's the hunter. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got the names. Anyways, they did change the voice of the main thing that talks to you. But you're talking about Cade, the hunter, and he's the funny guy.
Yeah.
If you saw the original video for Destiny 2 where he was talking, and he said, and the new enemy's name is Gary. Or wait, is it Glenn? Or it's really funny. So anyways, yeah, he's good too.
Yeah, he's one of my
there you go.
favorites. I love him as an actor.
Yeah. He's good in anything he does.
He had a scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but it got cut.
Well, it wasn't like he didn't necessarily have a scene. I don't think it was.
Well, I saw a picture of him in costume, so there was going to be something where you saw him.
Well, that was something different. I think like he was like a furry costume type thing or something. I saw that picture, and that was just like a joke. But he was going to play a character named Simon from the comics.
Yeah,
and he's an actor, and so they were going to have there's going to be like a flash to Earth or whatever. And I guess during all stuff that's happening on Earth, I won't say what, but because spoilers. But his poster was going to be like on the side of a movie theater.
Yeah,
and it was like the Tony Stark story, and his character is playing Tony Stark, and it's a character from the comics who's called Wonder Man, and he's actually an Avenger character.
Yeah, that's right.
But that scene got cut from the movie because they said it slowed the pace down, so they cut all that.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, with Destiny 2 coming out, what's some favorite video games you guys played growing up? Anything? You guys play anything that just sticks out in your mind that you're like, that was one of my favorite games ever?
Usually the thing that pops in my mind is Marvel vs. Capcom. Just because it had, I really like fighting games, and it had all the Marvel characters, and then it also had really like some of the Street Fighter characters, and of course Mega Man. I really liked the Mega Man games growing up. I was terrible at them. I'd usually end up killing myself by jumping off something. That's my huge weakness in video games is jumping.
That's why we had the Game Genie. Don't you remember the Game Genie?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I use that all the time.
That's how we would always win at games.
I would still somehow kill myself, but yeah. Those are good. Yeah, and GoldenEye was always fun for me. Again, I constantly die in that, but it's fun to watch me die, so it's fine.
It's fun to watch me die.
Yeah.
There you go.
But it happens.
Katrin, any games growing up that you remember?
Yeah, I think I spent a lot of my time just playing sports games in general, and I still do. That's my go-to is if I wanted to play just for a little bit and be done with it, because that's the great thing is you can go into a sports game, a football game, basketball game, whatever, and play for an hour and feel like you've completed something, whereas you play these games now and it's you've got to play for 2 or 3 hours because you want to go through this quest and do all these things, and then you die and you have to start over again, and it's frustrating. And but I think I've always kind of been drawn to those kind of games, the sports games, even back in the Nintendo, one of the first soccer game I remember was Goal, and I played that game a ton. And it was, man, looking back at it, it was really bad, but it was really fun. And I remember playing this one soccer game. I've never seen it anywhere else. It was in an arcade, and it was I can't remember who made it, but it looked like a bunch of other games that were out at the time. But it was like Bionic Soccer or something. And,
yeah, I think I remember that.
It was really cool because you just kick the ball really hard and you're fighting or something. I guess I don't remember, but that was yeah.
I think they had I think they had a baseball one like that too.
Well, yeah, on the Nintendo there was a base. It wasn't Base Wars, was it, or something?
That might be it.
Oh,
Base Wars.
no, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it had these cyborg robot whatever.
Yeah.
I remember the cover art.
Yeah. I remember playing that. I was like, oh, it's so cool.
Yeah. You know what? I guess on the Nintendo, probably one of my favorite games though was this game called Dusty Diamonds All-Star Softball, and it was a really cool game because you could pick. Sorry, we could just talk video games on. You could pick all your players that you wanted. You had this big roster of these made-up people, and they're real small, but you could, pick the fast guy, or you pick the fat guy that could hit the ball far. You could, pick all. That was really cool.
Dusty Diamonds.
Dusty Diamonds All-Star Softball or something like that.
Dusty Diamonds.
Doesn't sound like a video game.
No. Hey, welcome to Dusty Diamonds.
Well,
come on in.
You would have loved it too. So
no, I'm sure it was a fun game.
It was. It was
great.
We went to a place recently. It's got all the old arcade games. It's just like a place you just pay like a certain like $20-$30 or something, and then you can play like every game in there, like as long as you want. And I always like the shoot 'em up games at the arcade, like was it Area 51?
Yeah.
It was one of them. I actually beat the game.
Well, when you don't have to use quarters, you can do whatever.
Exactly. And beat the Simpsons game and the X-Men arcade, because, you don't have to use quarters. Just kept going.
X-Men arcade.
Nice. I was playing a game the other day on my retro Pi that I told you guys about. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Nintendo, and it was the arcade game.
Oh yeah.
And it was the copy that I was playing was somebody had modified it, and I didn't realize it because I've never really played that game a whole lot. But I would go through 3 levels, and then it would start me back at the first level. My score would still be going up though, so I was like, well, maybe you just have to do this over and over again. I went through that thing 3 times. And I was like, this can't be. And it would say error in the middle of it. And I was like, that's weird. And I watched some videos online of like a walkthrough. And I was like, oh, I remember those levels now. It was funny because it was the week after we did the Shredder versus who was? Character. Yeah, what was my character? That was a bad time. So. Legolas, thank you. So I was gonna. It was gonna be funny because I was gonna post the pictures. Like,
Arrow to the neck.
Back at Shredder. I was gonna get back at Shredder and I was gonna put a picture on Twitter and all this. And so mad at that game. I was like.
He still took you out.
That game was fun. Now the other turtle game for Nintendo, Chris, we had this one. It was so hard.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one where it was like you're looking down on them or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that was ridiculously hard.
Yeah, that was insane. We got maybe like 2 or 3 levels in. I think we would get to like the party wagon where you'd be driving around.
Yeah.
And there was like no getting past that. There was like nothing you could do.
Yeah, I'm horrible at any driving game, and like any driving game, I'm just like horrible. I'm like, how can I drive a car? I'm like horrible at this. It's so hard.
It makes sense.
I like run over everything, and like games that have like there was a Batman game, and they brought in the Batmobile, and I'm like, oh cool. And then I started driving. I'm like, no, this is horrible. I'm just killing Gotham. But my favorite games growing up, I loved side scrollers. Those are still some of my favorite games, and I loved Castlevania games. I could play those all day and all night. My favorite one was Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It was amazing. I still like break it out every once in a while and play it because you could play the whole game and then you could get this special like gem or something. Glasses. These glasses that you would put on and you would go through this door and it would reverse the whole thing and you would play the whole game again. But
I remember that.
But like upside down or something.
Yeah, it was like a reversed. Everything was moving in reverse or something.
Yeah, it was so much fun. But yeah, I loved the Castlevania games. Taking on all the monsters and stuff is either one of the Belmonts or in Symphony of the Night you were Alucard, which was like
Dracula backwards,
son or something. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And there's going to be a Netflix series on Castlevania. Ooh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I
think let's see what they do with that.
I think it's going to be rated M for mature. I think.
Ooh. Can't watch that.
But it's like a cartoon, I think. So I don't know if it's going to be very
animated,
bloody.
I mean they're doing that. Like, there's going to be a Deadpool cartoon like on FXX, and that's going to be a Deadpool thing. So it could be an adult Castlevania still.
Yeah, but I love the Castlevania games, Contra games, all those. But Castlevania is my favorite. I love killing Dracula. And speaking of killing Dracula,
what?
Oh man,
I think
today's the day.
I think I may kill Dracula tonight.
Wow.
At least you'll try.
Again, we're doing this battle thing, this battle royale with cheese. We're going to try it one more time. We're sort of modified it each time. This week it's Dracula versus Raiden from Mortal Kombat, which was another one of the games that I played growing up. I don't know how I got that game. Like, I don't know. My parents just didn't know.
Yeah,
I don't think what it was.
But you could turn the blood off, couldn't you, in one of the versions?
Yeah, I think so.
The first version that came out, I think it was already off.
Oh yeah.
Out, and like on Nintendo or something, it came without it. But there was like a cheat thing you could do
to make it active or something.
Actually,
I would
show.
I would play that game so much. Toasty. Toasty. I would play like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Raiden. Of course, that's who I am tonight. Or
Raiden not so much. Whatever.
No, I would play as Raiden. I would play all of them, but it was a fun game. So, do we want to try this again?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm just glad I'm not doing it again. I get to be the moderator this time.
Do you have the special...
I do. I have a random picker pulled up here, and I can push the button and give you all your random weapons for this evening that could change the game for one of you or both of you.
So far, they have had no effect on anything.
None whatsoever.
Yeah. So whenever y'all are ready, we can get this started.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right. So who wants their special weapon first?
Go ahead. First. So Ryan, go ahead.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. All right. I want to hit the button here. Here it comes. Okay. All right. So this is what it came up with. Now, this could be interpreted a couple of ways, so I'll let you interpret it how you want to. But the weapon is battle axe.
Oh, so you just get a battle axe.
Now, isn't battle axe another name for a wife or something? I don't know.
You get a wife.
The old battle axe.
The old battle axe.
Here it is. This is it.
Your wife is not letting you go outside.
Here it is. It's either a large, broad-bladed axe used in ancient warfare, or it's a formidably aggressive older woman. An old battle axe.
Oh.
So it's not necessarily your wife. It's an old woman. So.
Yeah, I don't think she's letting you go off and fight. It's like, you got chores to do.
So you get to choose there. I'll let you choose. All right, so let me pick Dracula's weapon. Oh, this is actually kind of funny. So your weapon is Indiana Jones's whip.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The tables have turned on old Simon.
Oh. That could go against you, though, because Belmont was whipping Dracula with that thing.
Yeah,
you could whip it and, like, whip yourself. Yeah.
I'm thinking Dracula would be pretty adept with a whip.
I don't know. He's
He's lived so long. He's used every weapon. So
no, he just mostly just sits around and turns into a rat or something, and that's all he really does.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, so the old battle axe and the trusty whip probably aren't going to play much effective at these. Of course, the battle axe is part wood, probably.
Yeah.
It depends on what type of battle axe you have.
Oh, mine is. It's the only kind I use.
Okay.
Can it be an old lady with an axe? Because that would be...
With an axe?
No, you only get one battle axe. But the old lady could be useful. Nagging the Dracula. It's like get off my back, lady.
She could be like a gypsy or something, and cast some spell. Okay, so Chris, would you like to start?
Sure.
Okay, so first we need to describe the characters. What are strengths, maybe, and describe who Dracula is all about.
Mm-hmm. So Dracula, I mean, he's been alive for centuries. He's ageless. He's immune to diseases, sickness, injury. He's superhumanly strong. He's able a comparison to a Marvel character, Colossus. He can stand toe to toe with Colossus, so he's super strong. And Colossus he can lift tons. So he's got super speed, stamina, reflexes. He can levitate, kind of fly on his own. He also has a healing factor, on the level of Wolverine. Or he can regenerate damaged tissue. He can manipulate the minds of others. Also has commands of animals such as rodents, bats, wolves, which he can turn into all of them as well. And he also has mental control over people that he has bitten and can hypnotize them. So if he bites you, he can hypnotize you and kind of make you succumb to his will. He can also form into fog or mist. So if you're attacking him, he can just your weapons or anything would just go right through him. He also has the ability to control the weather, such as summoning electrical storms. So lightning not going to do much against him because he has control over it. So it's not really going to hurt him. He can walk through fire. He's mystical, where he's kind of enhanced by that. He's got a lot to him. He has a gifted intellect, very militaristic. He's fought entire armies on his own and defeated them, whole armies. Just defeated a whole country basically on his own. And then he has other various minions over the centuries that he's created that help him in his travels and battles and everything. So he's got a virtual like army underneath him to help him in his conquest. So there's a lot to him. There's a lot he can do. He's very powerful.
All right.
And really the only times people have defeated him is when he's asleep. So if you're in a battle with him, he's not going to just take a nap while you're battling.
It depends on the time of day.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I also saw that daylight doesn't actually kill him; it just weakens him. So he'll avoid people and everything and hide and basically he won't attack or anything or that. He always attacks when he's the strong.
Sounds like a scaredy cat. Okay.
Don't thunderstorms put people to sleep usually though?
That's true.
Or don't you like to?
So would you like me to tell you about Raiden?
Yeah, it's your turn, Ryan. Tell us all about Raiden.
Raiden, or otherwise known as the Eternal God of Thunder. He is a god He is immortal. He is the protector of the Earth realm. He is also known as an elder god, which puts him sort of high up there. He has complete control over electricity. He can teleport. He can fly. He can decapitate, which I think that is one of the weaknesses of Dracula. Let's see what else. There's all kinds of. Let me pull the page back up. But he has many, many powers. Now, in the Mortal Kombat universe, you're known for your fatalities. So he has many fatalities that involve lightning and other vast things, as well as turning people into babies. So he can do that. He can turn you into a baby if he wants to. But he has a weapon. He has his own weapon. He doesn't even need the battle axe. I mean, he may keep the battle axe around to sharpen his staff that he has. It's made out of a special wood. It's a wooden staff that he can use lightning through the staff, so the lightning doesn't affect the staff at all. But it's a special wooden staff called Raiden's staff that he could do many different powers with.
Appropriate name.
Yes. Which I could go into those powers he uses with the staff, or we can, you could talk a little more if you want to before I destroy you. But I think this Dracula versus Raiden is a good matchup. It's not completely one-sided.
No.
But I think Dracula's immortal, yes, but he's not a god. And Raiden is, can take a human form, but that's not who he really is. So Dracula couldn't really bite him or change him because he's not human. Does that make sense?
Well, technically.
Because he's a god. So he can, one of his powers is that he can shift his body or whatever to be inside of another person. So Raiden could go inside and take over Dracula's body if he wanted to.
If he wanted to, if he could get in there, because Dracula can also teleport and again turn into mist and everything. So there's really, you wouldn't have a form that he could inhabit. I did say yes that Raiden does take human form, especially in going into the Mortal Kombat competitions and everything, and especially going into Otherworld, where basically a lot of his powers just kind of go away, and he doesn't really have his full power. And it's not just Otherworld; it's other dimensions like that, which Dracula actually inhabits quite often.
Now, Dracula is an Earth realm person.
No, I mean, there's various stories where Dracula has his sanctum sanctorum, like that's a Doctor Strange thing, but it's a word for it. To where it's like its own dimension. That when Dracula is in them, he actually becomes even stronger and more powerful. That's why, like when going into Dracula's homes or whatever, it's a lot more lethal environment for you, because that's kind of his realm. It's almost like this kind of pocket dimension for him, kind of like Otherworld a little bit, to where
So basically, I just have to wait for him to come outside. I don't have to go in. And another thing about Dracula is that he can't go in any place that he's not invited. So Raiden could be chilling at home. Dracula come by, and Dracula can't come inside.
Yeah, but there's loopholes. There's a way to go through that. If you've ever watched any Dracula movie or anything, he gets in. He finds a way in. He can hypnotize somebody to get into the house. I don't think Raiden just has a home.
Well, he's a god, so he's sort of
around
he's an eternal god. Now, some of his powers that he can do here. Of course, you have the Raiden staff, which he electrifies, and his power is to where is it? I even talk about his torpedoing. He could torpedo himself into places, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, with that though, I mean, if you've played the game, like you say, torpedo, but really it's more Roomba speed. And I mean, he gets beaten by Johnny Cage. I mean, if you're beaten by Johnny
That's
Cage,
because he's in the other.
I don't know.
He's in the other realm where he doesn't have his. Okay, here we go. The staff shock lodges the end of his opponent's, or lodges the end of his staff into the opponent's chest, and lifts him in the air, and shocks him to death. So he takes a wooden staff or stake, and lodges it into the person's heart, thus killing them.
I did read that, but again, I mean, Dracula he can teleport. He can turn into mist.
So can Raiden. He can teleport too.
And I read up on his teleportation. He's not really able to teleport like up next to someone.
Oh no, he can. It's right here.
Well, it's like a step away. From what I read, he's like a step away from you when he teleports, so there's definitely time.
One teleport ability he has is called the Bug Eyes, where he teleports behind and then in front again and pokes his hand into the person's eyes, charging their head until it pops off. He can blow people's legs off with the
Dracula can regenerate that.
But then he has one move that he has where he teleports behind you, rips brain and heart out of their bodies, charges them until they explode, and then puts them back into the body, or puts their remains back in the body. He will. He can turn you into ash, a pile of ash, and a skull. Or I could just turn you into a baby. You know, there's always that.
It'd still be a very lethal baby. Super lethal baby. And I mean, I would think, with all of this, I think Dracula could keep his distance.
Here's the other. This is the finisher that just tops it all. It's called the Fergality. And he could turn his opponent into Fergus McGovern, an employee of Probe Limited in Mortal Kombat 2. So I could just turn you into Fergus McGovern if I wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, those are all fatalities. So you have to get Dracula beaten down.
Oh, I'll do that with everything else.
Form those. And like that, all those are fatalities. So you have and really, can you really get Dracula beaten down that much or form one of those?
I've played enough Castlevanias to know that you can get Dracula beaten down enough, and I've seen enough Dracula movies.
And with Indiana Jones's whip, which is capable of basically like disarming anyone. I mean, it's a magic whip. I mean, look at it.
It's not magic.
Have you seen Mythbusters when they tried to use that whip? It took forever.
It's not.
So
it's not
magic. It's a pretty special whip.
If you whipped me, I'd probably just grab it and then electrocute the whip until it's ash. That's probably what I would do.
But I don't think he would use it against you. I think he would use it to take away your staff. Or you just whip the staff and whip it away.
But the staff is embodied with electricity, so it would probably just fry the whip.
Well, I mean, I think if he can get it. He can get it, and electricity doesn't really harm Dracula.
Would he get it with like an arrow to the neck, or how would you get that?
No, whip to the staff.
Whip to the staff.
So let's see. Decapitation kills Dracula. Stake through the heart kills Dracula. I've done both of those. The other thing that kills Dracula is a sacred bullet. I do not have a sacred bullet, so I can't use that. But
and all these things, I mean, yeah, you could take them out. Like you might win the battle instead, but the war, I think Dracula comes back every time. He comes back stronger, and the person. It seems like the person that took him out the first time, he's not really able to take him out the next.
But how would Dracula kill an eternal god?
Well, like I said, I mean, there are places where he could lure him to where he's not an eternal god anymore. I mean, he's constantly going into Otherworld, constantly going to these places because he has to. He has to go and protect the Earth. So, in a battle such as that,
it says,
winner.
basically Dracula would have to join a Mortal Kombat tournament because reading up about Raiden, the only time he does travel to anything is for a Mortal Kombat tournament. And that's the only time he travels to anything. So Dracula would have to join a Mortal Kombat tournament, defeat everybody else, and then maybe face Raiden.
Which he could. He could do that.
Unless he's like unless it's Mortal Kombat versus DC, then that's a whole nother battle right there. So I don't know. This is a tough one. Kater, what do you think?
This is a tough one.
Yeah,
man.
It's a tough one.
It's really tough because
contenders.
You've got points on one side of all these damaging blows but it seems like there's always a counter move on the other side. And I guess if I had to go with one reason to go with one or the other, I haven't heard of a lot of points on the Dracula side to take out Raiden. Where Ryan has provided all sorts of ways, and but then again, it's difficult because again, there's all these counter moves that it's like, well, that, and that's what we've ran into with the other ones as well. It seems like they always have a counter, but unless you're Legolas, I guess.
Yeah, he doesn't really have any counters.
He just runs. But. So yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know how to pick this one. Do we flip a coin or?
Yeah, C comes before R.
Who's your best friend?
No one here.
That's
oh. Who are you in two bands with?
Wow. Who shares your name?
Hey, if you want to leave it as a tie, you can leave it as a tie.
I mean, it can tie.
The last one.
It doesn't have to be a tie, but I mean, technically, there could be a tie. This one, you don't have to tie it, but it could be.
Yeah,
there could be.
It could be a tie. I think this is a difficult one because there's plenty of counter arguments for both. Yeah.
Basically, Raiden's relying on a wooden staff.
Oh no, he's got more than that. He's got babality, baby.
And Dracula has all his animal minions. He can transform.
Yeah.
Fog.
Hey, hold on, 1 second. We'll stop. Your time for this is just decision time. Your time for giving your excuses is over.
Not excuses. I'm just reevaluating, just kind of helping along.
Yeah. Eternal God.
Yeah.
It's eternal God.
Eternal evil.
All right, so I'm just gonna pick one.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna flip my phone. It might break. I'll flip my remote. Which one's which? I don't know. Okay. All right, I've got it. Oh gosh. Okay.
Katrin just broke his phone. This is lovely.
Break it. This is my remote. It's okay.
Remote.
So it did land on I guess Tails, and that was Dracula.
Oh yeah!
I'm sorry to say, Ryan.
There's no way. Oh, that's so. What we learned this episode is Katrin is not good at defending or making decisions.
I'm not. Yeah. If you ever want to go out to eat with me, you better have an idea of where you want to go because I really can't make decisions.
This may be the last battle because
it may be. It's getting kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Okay, so I'm going to say that it's a tie because
it's I'm okay with a tie.
I think it could go either way depending on where they are at.
Yeah.
So let's move on. we're already at an
that was
hour.
rough.
We're already at
Oh Lord, we lost a bunch of people already.
We haven't talked Flash. We could do that next week. We could just do a big Flash, it's over thing.
Flashapalooza.
Let's do it. Let's do a Twitter question to end it. Does that sound good? This is a question for Twitter. All we do is we hashtag questions on Twitter and see what pops up. They're not directed to us. They're not sent to us. We just put in the hashtag questions. Here's the first one that came up that really, this is a deep question, and I don't know if we have time to discuss this on the show or not, but here we go. It's hashtag questions. If Canadians are real, then where's the syrup?
Where's the what? The syrup?
Yeah, that's sent in by Kelsey Reed. So at Kelsey Lynn 2016. If Canadians are real, then where's the syrup?
I don't understand the question.
At the grocery store?
It's a simple question.
But I mean, there's syrup in Vermont, which is not.
So then, therefore, Canadians aren't real.
What? So why is that the qualifier? I don't get it.
Kelsey, I don't think there is an answer to this question.
No.
You can find syrup just about anywhere, even in Canada. But I still don't know why they call bacon ham or ham bacon or whatever, but that's a different story.
Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, what did we learn today? Well, we learned that Katrin can't make decisions.
Gee whiz. Sorry.
We learned that never buy as seen on TV equipment. Don't tell your significant other that their eggs are bad. What else did we learn? You guys learn anything?
I learned that I basically won.
No.
Flip of the remote.
A flip of the remote does not qualify a winner. Okay, well, shall we end this?
I'd say so.
Well, I'm Ryan. This is the romper man himself, Chris Street, and Mr. Katrin, saying goodnight, shutting down another episode of I Am Geek. Tweet at us at I Am Geek Show or anywhere on social media, I Am Geek Show. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you'd like to hear on the show. And
if you want to be on the show.
Oh, if you want to be on the show, let us know. We'll get you on. It's Skype. Anybody can get on. But until next time, Toasty!